Today we're rating Custom Magic the Gathering cards on Reddit. We're gonna start off with the Golden Age of Piracy. What the hell is that supposed to mean? Like when we stole music on Napster and torrents and stuff like that? If you know, you know. Alright, we got Black 2 Generic Saga. It's literally got pirates here, I think. Chapter 1. For the rest of the game, creatures entering the battlefield cause them to explore and is a pirate in addition to their other types. And then Chapter 2, each player gets an emblem with, whenever a treasure enters the battlefield under your control, if it's a legendary, you win the game. What? What is going on here? Each player gets an emblem with whenever a treasure enters the battlefield under your control. If it's a... How do you get a legendary treasure onto the battlefield? This has got to be to some sort of... This is a reference for One Piece. The legendary treasure. I'm sorry, I didn't... Should I watch the Netflix thing? I heard there's a Netflix show, One Piece. And I heard that One Piece, it's some sort of manga or anime or something. That doesn't make sense. I agree. Yeah, I look at this card. Just hurts my brain. I've never seen a legendary treasure. Okay, so if it's a flavor win, sure. It's a flavor win. Otherwise, this card doesn't make any sense. I have no idea how you get a legendary treasure onto the battlefield. Or maybe, I don't know, maybe it's possible. What is there called? Maybe there's a card out there that makes everything legendary. I think, in my, if I recall correctly. Alright, we're going to start with the Super Chats. Abe loves Custom Magic the Gathering cards. The Perplexing Puzzle Box updated. If you Super Chat, give me the name of the title of your card on our Custom Magic, and it can be part of the show. People love sharing their cards. You love sharing your cards. Alright, we got the Perplexing Puzzle Box. Why can't I see everything? Good enough. Alright, we got a blue 1 generic enchantment. Whenever an opponent casts a spell, choose one. Whoa! So basically your opponents could do nothing. This card would do nothing, but they're gonna do something, obviously. Okay, sacrifice Perplexing Puzzle Box and draw 2 cards. That is very underwhelming. Sacrifice Perplexing Puzzle Box and counter that spell. That's good. And then you could scry 2 perpetually. This card might be just busted. It's incredible. That's not the updated one? Alright, hold on. So, okay, this one is broken. So we got to see, I don't know, the beta version. Oh, yeah, here's the updated one. Thank you very much. Okay, so now, okay, we've added a mana. So we got to see a little bit of the lore behind this card. Okay, so we've added a mana. We've made it an artifact instead of an enchantment, so more vulnerable. Again, whenever an opponent casts a spell, exile. You have to exile the thing now to counter the spell. Exile it to draw 2 cards, or scry 1. This actually is way more fair. All right, so the last one, broken. This one actually playable. The scry 1 is interesting. So it's like Rhystic Study, except instead of drawing a card, you just scry 1. So I mean, you have a good card on top of your deck. It's just sitting there waiting for you to draw it. All right, back to the freebie section. We got the Continuity Shutter. It's a blue instant with Cleave. The kicker cost that nobody really asked for at all, and is never going to be done again, probably. You may cast this spell for its Cleave cost. If you do, remove the words in the square brackets. So we first choose target spell you control on the stack. Cast that spell without paying its mana cost. So I can... for 1 mana, cast my own spell. Choose target spell on the stack. Cast that spell without paying its mana. That card makes no sense. I don't even like this. This card is too strong. This card does nothing, as far as I'm concerned. Okay, so for 1 mana, you get to cast the card that you cast. Like you can't cast the card twice. Is what I'm trying to say here. And then if you cleave it, well, whatever. Oh, is it only 6 mana? 6 mana steal their spell? That might be a little strong. I think you have to be a little bit more expensive. Maybe the cleave cost should be 7. Because the cleave cost is just an alternate casting cost, right? Needs to say copy. I think what it means is, like, you choose target spell, cast the spell without paying its mana cost. Yeah, maybe it's... I don't know if it's trying to steal the spell, or copy it, but either way, worded wrong, disqualified, get it out of here. Send it to the shredder. Crimson Wolf. Pizza the Hut. That's a pizza I can get behind. 1, 2, 3, apparently. Isn't it supposed to be H-U-T-T? Okay, so first off, well, actually, I don't remember how they worded this in Spaceballs. I don't know if it was called Pizza the Hut, H-U-T, or T-T. Okay, we got a red... Why is it even put like this? Okay, Boros. For a 0-0, Hasty Pizza the Hut, your delicious pizza. Ha 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 ha. Thank you, Finny. Pizza the Hut gets +3/+3 for each artifact on the battlefield. Legendary creates a Pizza Noble. And then pizza time for red and a white instant. Each player creates 3 food tokens and gains 3 life. And he wants his 1 million space bucks. The million space bucks. All right, excellent. It's actually not even... Hold on, for each artifact on the battlefield, so you have at least 3, so he gets... I don't even know why. It should be for each food. I think that would be a better flavor win, because he is made out of food. Like, the guy is just food, right? It should be +3/+3 for each food on the battlefield. Artifacts might be broken. 1 million space bucks. Unfair to the payor, but fair to the payee. Anyway, this probably is a broken card, but I'm going to pass it. Well, actually, no, it's like 6 mana, whatever. We're going to let it slide. Okay, Infernal Edict. It's a black 1 generic sorcery. Target player sacrifices a creature. That's totally fine. Overload! You may cast this spell for its overload cost. If you do, change its text by replacing all instances of target with each. Actually, this is totally fair. I think this is a crappy card. Because don't we already have, we got that vampire. It's a double black. And like I swear it says each opponent, or no, maybe it's just a 2/2. Oh, and then if you play the kicker, each opponent sacks a creature, or something to that effect, or something like that. Isn't it Innocent Blood just 1 mana? That's right. Maybe this is just bad on all. Okay, whatever. It's a fair card. It's doable. Doesn't Zyber. Did they just, yeah, did they just make a strictly worse Innocent Blood here? Target player sacks a creature, and then for 3 mana, yeah, I think they accidentally made a worse. This is Chainer's Edict and Innocent Blood combined together. Well, we don't have Innocent Blood in Standard, so maybe that's a fair way of getting it to Standard. Okay, let's not move too far. We have so many super chats. Abe! A means to an end. Alright, a means to an end. It's the red. Instant. Destroy all enchantments. You can't do that. For red, they don't do that. At the beginning of your next upkeep, you lose the game. Very interesting design. Alright, so you might die after this. Where there's a will, there's a way. Okay, maybe that actually Zybers. I think a lot of red players would absolutely die for this card. They would pay 1 million space bucks for a means to an end. They just want to get all that fresh air from, what was that planet called? They want 100 years of fresh air. So did, and it shows a globe here. I mean, like all red players, all they wish to do is destroy all the stupid enchantments on the battlefield, get rid of the Ley Line of Sanctity, get rid of the, I don't know, Circle of Protection red. That was an old card, and then use your burn spells to win the game. Now, red should never be able to touch enchant. They're gonna die next turn. I mean, what the price? The price is so high. Oh, Planet Druidia. That's right. The planet Druidia and the Princess of Druidia and the giant. Okay. Anyway, I like this card. If you think this is too busted, you let me know in the comment section below. I think this is a cool card for red decks. And often red doesn't even have a lot of mana. So it's like, you'll pay double red, maybe have 1 or 2 mana up to, you know, do your one last thing. Remember, like, any color can do anything, but there's a cost. The cost is usually high. And in this one, you just lose the game. All right, moving on. We got the Arc Dreadnought class. It's a 14 mana vehicle. That's a lot of mana. Okay, it's a 15/25. What the hell? This has got to be to some game I don't even know about. Oh, it's Dina Soul Steeper. This is definitely one of the coffee crew. Okay, flying indestructible and trample. It does it all. Slices and dices. It can make Pizza the Huts. When the arc attacks, create 4 3/3 artifact vehicle tokens with flying, haste, and crew 1. Why does it keep doing this stuff? Dina, you just made this card as insane as possible. Well, it's crew 12, which is funny because if you can crew 12, you might as well win the game with the 12 power that you have on the board, but instead you go for the Arc Dreadnought class. And then tapped non-artifact creatures you control have Ward 4. That's sort of fair because they can still kill them prior to combat, but it's interesting that the artifacts that people want to kill will be the ones that are attacking. It's so big. I'm gonna allow it. It's possible that this is like, I don't know, a new broken card in, I don't know, some artifact or some vehicle deck, but I think otherwise this is Parhelian's bigger brother. So you're telling me you play Pioneer? You play a little Pioneer. You play a little Grease Fang around there, huh? You like them Golgari colors. Golgari to the end. Yeah, Grease Fang's personal honey boat. The honey boat. All right, next up we've got Fire. Nikachu, hope you're doing well today. First card, that's the first of many. It's gonna be a long stream, I know it. The Dark Urge. There's a lot of Dark Urges, but here's the one from Fire. Thank God. This is not a very original name, apparently. You're not the first. You're probably not gonna be the last with a Dark Urge. What's your Dark Urge out there? Is it like binging on jelly beans? Okay, we got a black 2 generic legendary enchantment background. Commander creatures you own. Well, how many commanders can that be? Most 2? Have whenever another creature dies, put a +1/+1 counter on this creature, and at the beginning of your end step, if no creatures died this turn, sacrifice another creature. I don't understand this. Like, I don't see how this is broken. Commander creatures you own have whenever another creature dies, so other than your commanders, you put a counter on your commanders at the beginning of your end step. If no creatures died this turn, sacrifice another creature. Why do you want to sack your own creatures? But then if you get something dies, you get a counter. Whatever. This card could be 1 mana. I have no idea how you break this card. Seems totally fair to me. All right. Whatever you want to do. I'm sure, but maybe this is one of those cards where you're like, it's crap, and then they like combo off with it somehow in some convoluted way. Okay, next we got the Glimpse of Horror. It's a black sorcery. Reveal cards on the top of your library until you reveal 3 black creature cards. Put them into your hand and the rest on the bottom of your library in a random order. You lose life equal to the number of cards revealed this way. But isn't that always going to be 3? Or almost always 3? So it's a weird tutor. From top of your library until you reveal 3 black creature cards. I actually think this card might be busted. This is effectively like a tutor for like maybe 3 specific cards in your deck. It's 2 mana, draw 3. All the cards you reveal? Hold on. Reveal until you reveal 3 black it has to be creature cards. So you could literally have only 3 black creature cards in your deck. And you lose life to the number of cards revealed this way. Oh, hold on. Put them into your hand and the rest on the bottom of your library in random order. You lose life. Oh, I get it. So you could die. That's all right. So every card we reveal. So if we get greedy and only have 3 creature cards. Okay, interestingly balanced card. But it's still draw 3. 2 mana, draw 3, but lose a bunch of life. I'd have to see it in action. But the cards are pretty random, I guess. The pay life would hurt. Yeah, well, if you don't have that many black cards in the deck, yeah, it will hurt. All right, what next super chat do we have? Crimson Wolf, the Tower of Madness. This is definitely going to be a show where second half is only going to be super chats. You people love your custom cards. Oh, it's a land. I love looking at lands. It's the Tower of Madness. That is a really cool staircase. Where did this art come from? But squash text. Okay, we tap, add a mana. You lose 3 life. Whoa! That is a price I do not want to pay. Then we got tap, draw a card, lose 4 life. This is a commander card. What can I say? Tap, destroy target permanent. You lose 5 life. Okay, this is actually getting silly. You may choose a card from outside the game, reveal that card, and put it to your hand. Your life total becomes 1. This is busted as hell. The fact that you can just tap and destroy a permanent, way too broken. Not a chance in hell. Crimson Wolf. Super sad. Yeah, absolutely busted. We all agree this card does everything. Like, there's no amount of life that's, well, I don't know, there's probably some price, like 20 life might be too high. But for commander, what is 5 life? It's nothing. You destroy a permanent. You can destroy lands with this damn thing. You gotta understand, Nikachu, custom cards are crack for us. Yeah, for some people out there. Every Discord has like a custom card section. Make your custom cards here. Yeah, with 40 life, this is basically free removal. And card draw. That adds mana. It's Library Alexandria on like insanity. On Super Grow. Okay, Broker's Tutor. For Bant colors, sorcery, search your library for a card, put that card in your hand, then shuffle your library. Very underwhelming card. So underwhelming, I'm gonna go to the next one. Build your own curse. Ah, this has too many words on it. Okay, Grixis X, Aura, enchant opponent, imprint. Enters the battlefield, search your library for an instant or sorcery card with mana value X, then shuffle. That is not how imprint works. And it enters the battlefield, search your library for an instant or sorcery card. Okay, so I don't think this creator knows what imprint is. Isn't imprint you have to like exile a card onto the card from your hand? Pretty sure that's how it works. Whenever a player attacks enchanted player, both you and the attacking player copy the card exiled with build your own curse and cast it without paying its mana cost. This is so weird. The ability triggers only once each turn, doesn't trigger during the next turn. Forgot to add exile. So hold on, so like the card can come from anywhere? So he can even come from their library? This is just a weird tutor. Anyway. I don't know if this card is legal. So we're buzzing it. We're buzzing the stupid thing. Okay, next up we got Majra with Cisco. And I'm just gonna look up L. Cisco and L. Okay, can I look up Cisco? Because I can't look up that E. Okay, we got Cisco and Leandro. Regents of the Sun City. Bant 2 generic, we got a 2/4 human cleric noble with vigilance. Whenever a spell or ability you control prevents damage, if it's not your turn, choose one that hasn't been chosen this turn. So finally, we're buffing up prevent damage. You hear that? Healing Self from beta is going up in price. Okay, so you can gain that much life, put that much +1/+1 counters on target creature, or draw that many cards. Well, that last one is insane, but it's probably fair. Like, if you're preventing damage, like, preventing damage sucks. It's always been bad. This would be a way to buff it up, but that's a huge buff. That's insane. Like, you prevent 4 damage, you draw 4 cards. I can't tell if this is gross or not, but make no mistake, you have a bunch of prevent damage cards in your deck, and like, well, it's garbage. Although, because this is legendary, maybe it's going to be super easy to pull off. Coffee thinks it's still pretty fair. Not Bant, though. You don't feel like this is Bant? Well, we drew cards, we get counters, we gain life. What's not Bant about this? Yeah, it turns your healing salve into ancestral recall. Let's go. And then some people are like, no, God, please, no. It's the last thing they want to hear. All right, back to the freebie section. We got the Alliance Battalion. So we got a hybrid Rakdos for a 1/1. Oh my God, does Fog work with this? Whenever you have spell or ability you control prevents damage, if it's not your turn. Oh wow, that might be a shizzle. I guess if no one will just attack you, they got to make sure they killed Cisco before. That would make Fog good. Fog would go from useless to good. All of a sudden, a lot of cards that are supreme garbage go to like S tier, thanks to Cisco and Leandro. Okay, Rakdos, 1/1 army. If Alliance Battalion is a zombie, it gets +1/+1 as first strike. Okay, This was an AI generated card. I can just tell. Some people like make AI generated cards and then throw them on the custom board. Like you need your own. You guys need your own subreddit, in my opinion. If Alliance Battalion is an orc, it gets +1/+1 and has menace. Like, why would anyone word this like that? It just doesn't make any sense to me. It's for a mass. Works with a mass. It's just an army. It's literally, the creature is literally army. Yeah, how does it become a zombie or an orc? That's the question. Isn't that square an AI symbol? I have no idea. Anyway, it looks AI. They're cheating! I smell BS with this one. The BS is strong with this card. Okay, we got Emerald Crowley with cycle of 5 post-alikes for Crustacean. Cycle of 5 post-alikes. Damn it! Cycle of 5. Okay, cycle of 5 post-alikes for Crustacean. I can't find this damn thing. So many people have these posts called a cycle of 5 cards. Oh, this has to be it. And it says Emerald Knight here. What are the odds there are 2 different emeralds that came up with the same type of card? Look, you give me the name of the post. It gotta be identical, damn it. It's gotta be identical. You confuse me. Okay, we got a white 3 generic instant. You're only getting 1 card, by the way. You want to pay 20 bucks? I'll go through the whole cycle. Okay, we have a white 3 generic instant. You may exile a Scuttle Knot card from your hand rather than pay this card's mana cost. Exile target creature. You may exile a... What the hell is a Scuttle Knot? You may exile a Scuttle Knot card from your hand rather than pay... You have like a whole... I don't know, theme. You have a whole set of Scuttle Knots? I don't even know what a Scuttle Knot is. Is it like the stupid crab guy? Oh, come on. Swords to Plowshare is already too good. Scuttle Knots are humanoid crust... Oh, is it crustaceans? Is that how I pronounce it? That sounds like a word. It's a new race for my plane. All right, everything got explained. Okay, you may exile a Scuttle Knot card from your hand rather than pay this card. You got it. It's just like watered down Solitude. It's actually strictly worse Solitude. Well, let's look at one more, just out of curiosity. This one countered a spell. You may exile a crab card from your hand. Oh my god, these are like incredibly specific ocean-like creatures that are a force cycle. I got it. All right, back to the freebie section. It's not broken. It's fine. Okay, we got Stately Villa. It's a land. Pay 1, tap, add 2 mana of different colors. Very interesting design. Because, okay, so you can, on turn 1, this adds nothing. It just does strictly nothing for one, like, because you play it and you need another generic mana to tap this for anything. It would be an EDH staple for sure, and it would basically go in any deck. It is just so bad as your turn 1 play. It's interesting that this would be good for Commander, and it would be like awkward, probably playable, but not strictly superior in like one-on-one formats like Pioneer or Modern or Legacy, because you can't play this on turn 1 because it does have a literal cost to it. You have to pay at least 1 mana. There is a land like this already. Well, there we go. Well, I mean, I'm familiar with the filter lands, right? But this is filter lands at least let you pay 1 generic mana on turn 1. This absolutely adds nothing on turn 1. It's a Signet land. There we go. It's a Signet land. And it has to be 2 different colors. There we go. So you can't get double blue out of it. Can't get double blue, double green, double red, double white. You could play this turn 1, just couldn't use it. Yeah, you can. But then, like, you're just basically passing your turn doing nothing. Great card. I think that's cool. Nicely original. Smelly Squid. Ambidextry. People in your very creative names. Ambidextry. That was easy to find, thank God. Okay, we got a blue unset card for some reason. You have 2 hands. Why? Okay, for an unset card, sure. This is actually just like a crappier Reliquary Tower, because with Reliquary Tower, you can have... Oh, hold on. Does this mean that if I draw 1 card, I'm drawing 2? Does this double my card draw? Because I have to draw a card for each hand that I have? This could... Maybe this is broken. This might be busted. And it's 1 mana. So basically, for 1 mana, it doubles all the effects that might affect my hand, I think. Corbinek is like, yeah, I always wanted to make sure I had... Yeah, it's showing you the 2 hands. You have 2 hands now. Oh, wow! This is great! I thought I only had 1 hand this entire time. Yeah, my right and my left. Okay, only draw 1 card, but when you discard your hand, you only discard 1 of them? Is that how you're interpreting this? Discard all cards from your hand, but you have 2 hands. I think, well, anyway. Okay, so if it's... And hold on, when they look at your hand, they're only... When they thought seize you, are they only looking at 1 hand or 2? This is a confusing card. Judge! I need, like, a massive, like, explanation on this on Gatherer. Pick a hand, any hand. Or you can pick this hand. Oh, yeah, you want to pick this one, you can pick this one. 2 separate hands. I still don't know how to... Can you draw into one and then draw into the other? When I have my first... When we first play ambidextry, do I split my hand into 2? Okay. Anyway. If it's not doubling your card draw, then it's fine. Who knew 4 words could cause so many rules complications? I know! That's a very complicated rule idea. But I get it. You know, you could draw into a new hand, or you otherwise discard from 1 hand. Alright, not so fast. Let's slow it a little bit down. We got a blue 1 generic instant. This spell costs blue 1 to cast if you haven't started your turn yet this game. What? The spell costs... Okay, counter target spell. It's a slow down. The spell costs blue 1 to cast if you haven't started your first turn yet this game. So you can counter something on turn 0. That's interesting. This is like Once Upon a Time, but for counter spells. Yeah, it's like Once Upon a Time, but it's defensive. I like this card a lot, actually. It's very but it do you know what? It also has a lot of vibes to Mental Misstep. On the other hand, Mental Misstep is not good at all points of the game, and also not everyone can play this. Only blue players can play this. Yeah. Someone tries to play Soul Ring, not so fast. So if anyone's trying to combo off on turn 1, you blow them away. This would just be Mental Misstep energy. Yeah, I know exactly. Corbinek, as a rules judge, I can say that if this was an actual card, I would say you could draw cards into a new hand and maintain them, and the cards in your starting hand as separate targets. So that's how we're interpreting the last card. Keeps in check Allosaurus Rider and Flash Hulk. Exactly. So you can unbat. It's just another... It's like a force negation that is fair. Fair force negation. But what I like about this is you can't use this proactively. You can only do it defensively. Like, it's not like you're going to combo off on turn 0, right? So anyway, I like this card. It's a great, ingenious card. All right, we love our custom Magic the Gathering cards, but you know who we also love? We love FusionGamingOnline.com. That's right. And the Lost Caverns of Ixalan's coming out with reprints like Cavern of Souls. You heard the news here. You probably didn't hear it first, but Cavern of Souls is getting reprinted, and Ixalan's going to be a standard Pioneer staple, already a staple in all other formats. If you're looking to get it cheap, get them reprints at FusionGamingOnline.com, and don't forget to use coupon code Nikachu at checkout to get 5% off all your purchases. We're also going to thank Mana Traders, the premier place for renting Magic cards online, and your ability to play any format anytime you want on Magic Online. I have a new coupon code. XQJ! Use coupon code XQJ for 10% off your first 2 months when you're renting cards online with Mana Traders. Alright, back to... Alright, now it's all pure paywall from here on out. Yeah, make that money with Mana Traders. And FusionGamingOnline.com. Okay, where am I? Okay, we got Yo Little Ted with a massive super chat. The Ravnica ley lines. I smell a cycle, if you ask me. Okay, the Ravnica ley lines. We got, oh god, you have 10 of them? I'm gonna go through 5. Or if they're really good, or maybe they're all very similar. Okay, so the Azorius one for 4 mana. If Leyline of Silence is in your opening hand, you may begin the game with it on the battlefield. Your opponents can't cast spells during your turn. Not bad. It's probably fine. What is this, turn 1? So, sorry, it's turn 0. Actually, this card could be broken. I don't know if this is safe to have cards like this. Because I'm trying to think. This is more strong than Defense Grid, and Defense Grid costs mana, and you can still cast spells, but for a cost. This card might be a little too good because in the hands of the combo players, it's busted. They might just win on turn 1. Okay, so this one busted. Okay, next, Leyline of Secrets. Whenever an opponent draws a card, you may pay 1. If you do, that player reveals that card and you draw a card. Whenever an opponent draws a card, you may pay 1. So you pay the 1? What about their draw step? If you do, that player reveals the card and you draw a card. This is also busted. Basically drawing extra cards every single time someone draws a card. Like, and it's only 1 mana. It should be like if your opponent would draw an extra card every turn. If it wasn't like the card that they would normally draw, then that effect would be fine. Okay, Leyline of Carnage. Whenever a creature dies, Leyline of Carnage deals 1 damage to each opponent. And then Hellbent, as long as you have no cards in hand, Leyline of Carnage deals 2 damage to each opponent instead. That actually might be fine. This one's a little bit more interesting. Leyline of Ferocity. Whenever a creature you control attacks, if it gets +2/+0 until end of turn. Whenever a creature you control deals combat damage to a player, Leyline of Ferocity deals that much damage to any target. That's busted. No. That one's broken. Yeah, draw for 1 mana. It's still very broke. I have no idea what you guys think is. Print for Rakdos. The Rakdos one is fine. Okay, Leyline of Harmony. Whenever a creature enters the battlefield under your control, you gain life equal to its power. That's fine. I will live with that one. It's very good for the Soul Sister players. The Lifelink players love it. Leyline of Debt. Whenever an opponent casts a spell, that player loses 1 life and you gain 1 life. From turn 1? You know what? I don't like it. This card's ridiculous. Whenever an opponent activates an ability of a permanent they control, and they... Oops, where am I going? Okay, that's too strong. Maybe we'll get through the whole cycle. Whenever you cast an instant or sorcery spell, this is Leyline of Innovation. This is very innovative cards. Whenever you cast an instant or sorcery spell, you may pay... Is it? If you do, copy that spell, you may choose new targets for the copy. Finally, that one's... I think that one's okay. Leyline of Debt taxes lands. This copy one is like... You see, the ones where you have to spend a lot of mana to get the effect, I think that's fine. But so many of these other cards are like, you get this massive effect for little or nothing. Alright. Leyline of Decay. Whenever a creature dies, put a -1/-1 counter on each creature that shares a color with it. Oh god. Like, I don't know if this is good or bad. This seems very ugly, though, to play against. I would hate to play against this card. But I have no idea. Maybe it's fine. Seems disgusting, though. And then Leyline of Evolution. I'll give you this one. Your names are spot on. 10 out of 10. I love the names. The effects are insane, though. Whenever a creature you control adapts, evolves, or becomes monstrous, put a counter on each other creature you control with the same name as that creature. Totally fair. Very situational. Buffs you, doesn't burn other people down to the ground. All right. Thank you very much for the Ravnica Leylines. All right, Fire, what do you got for us today? What's the second one? We've got Festival of Green Grass. As always, thanks for looking at and reviewing my custom cards. The Festival. Yeah, only 3 are fair. The rest are just busted. Okay, we have a white, red, 1 generic. Festival of Green Grass. What is that supposed to mean? Summer? Festival of Green Grass gains, chapter 1 is Festival of Green Grass green grass gains. Creatures you control can't attack, and creatures your opponents control can't attack you. Weird. Okay, Chapter 2, Festival of Green Grass gains. Your life total can't change. Interesting. And then Chapter 3 is create 5, 1, 2 white and red human. Hold on, this is permanent? How are these all permanent? Creatures you control can't attack, and creatures your opponents control can't attack you. So how do you die? This sounds like it's just permanent. Like these are actually broken. And then Chapter 3, create 5, 1, 2 white and red human rogue creature tokens with haste, and whenever this creature enters the battlefield, it deals 1 damage to any target. Until Chapter 3 and you sack? Oh, okay. Interesting. Okay, I like it then. Yeah, I guess it's until the saga dies. You guys know your sagas better than I do. I have no idea. I don't play with many sagas. I play against exactly like one Urza's Saga. Totally fair card. I like the design of it. Like, hey, you have protection for a few turns to like build up your army. It's like no Zerg rush, 10 minutes. And then at Chapter 3 you got a sack and you get your creatures. Okay, next up we've got Redco. What do you got for us, Redco? Discharge. How many people have come up with the same name? 1 million people! Okay, but here's someone called Redco, apparently. What are the odds that this Redco is not the same? Redco was taken? Apparently there's a lot of Redcos out there. Discharge for blue, 1 generic. Instant exile target spell. Totally fair. You could even go as far to make this blue and make a strictly better counterspell. Although I have to admit, it would be awkward at that point. Because that's like a strictly better counterspell. A flash of lightning erupted from the Spark Mage's fingertips, only to dissipate harmlessly between a matrix of candles and fruit. I don't see the fruit, I see the candles though. Coffee and buns. Okoku, one with the realm. Thank you very much for your super chat. Okoku. Is that enough? Can I look up Okoku? One with the realm. I don't see Okoku. Oh, here it is. Okay, we got a green, 4 generic, 3/3 forest spirit. Okay, so you can fetch this card and play. That card's busted. Now, how do you make it fair? It's got Echo of 4. How does Echo work? Does Echo check no matter what? No matter how it got onto the battlefield? Or does it only check if you, like, cast the card and put it onto the battlefield? I don't know the nuances of Echo. When Okoku, one with the realm, enters the battlefield, target creature gains +2/+2 and trample until end of turn. That's pretty cool ability. So you fetch this out onto the battlefield, and you buff a creature in between. It checks at any time? Okay. And then we got green, 1 generic. Put Okoku, one with the realm, on top of its owner's library. Then you may return target land card from your graveyard to your hand. The last one, it's not sitting well with me. I would think it's fine to put it on the bottom of your library to like what you're trying to do is you fetch over and over and over again. That's a problem. That's broken. But you do put it on top of your library. 3 mana put on top. You could do that as like a combat trick at any point. I don't like. Oh no, you can't do that. So you'd have to do it pre-combat. You do it pre-combat, but then you just fetch it right onto the battlefield. Oh, this last ability, I like the first two. The Echo, the +2/+2 trample. Last side, no. Not making it repeatable sounds awful. And you have no problem with it dying, right? Oh, no, you do. No, if it goes to the graveyard, you're screwed. Maybe, I don't know, maybe this card is more fair than I think it is. Maybe the card is more fair than I think it is. All right, Crimson Wolf. Imagine Strength. Gonna force me to put a limit on how many super chats you guys can put. You know, I tried to raise the super chat minimum, but YouTube doesn't let me. Okay, we got the Imagine Strength. Just for those who game, you know, I don't mind you guys gaming the system, but you guys game the system all the damn time. Okay, we got, what the hell? So I can pay this for nothing? Well, I mean, 10 life, right? Wooburg in Phyrexian mana. I didn't know this Dragon Ball character was Phyrexian. Legendary instant. Target creature gains flying, death touch, trample. Oh no, it's just an instant. It's just an instant. Flying, death touch, trample, double strike, and +7/+7 until end of turn. Broken. Thank you for your contribution, Crimson Wolf. Abe. What the hell is this? AC 130. AC 130 gunship. There's another vehicle. Okay, the third ability should say to all other creatures that didn't crew gunship but ran out of room. See, that's the problem. When the font gets too small, you know you've made a problem with your card. You don't have enough room for everything. Okay, flying ward 3. It's 5 mana for a 7/7. But you crew 3, whatever. Okay, for a red, AC 130 gunship deals 1 damage to each creature without flying your opponent's control. What the hell? This is just like activate only while AC gunship is attacking. So you attack. So I get it. You attack and you gun them down. This seems so cheap. This is just a one-sided board wipe. Once you get, and it's crew 3. I think you have to increase the crew for this damn thing. But it's 5. I don't know how to. It's still 5 mana. Okay, double red. AC 130 gunship deals 3 damage to target creature or planeswalker. Activate only while attacking. And then triple red, AC 130 gunship deals 5 damage to each other creature. So hold on, your thing was on the third ability to all other creatures that didn't crew gunship. Oh yeah, so because you don't want the pilots wouldn't get damaged. Activate only while AC 130 gunship is attacking. This feels like it feels fair, but at the same time it's like so oppressive once it's online. So it can't be cast unless you control legendary? Oh, broken legendary. You're talking about the last card. Yeah, last one is still broken. It's a real weapon in the armed forces. So yeah. This was a good plane back then. I don't know. I'll allow it. I would not feel happy playing against it. This would feel miserable, but it seems pretty hard to get on. Well, here's the deal. Okay, 5 mana, not hard to start. The crew 3, very easy. I wish the crew was higher, to be honest. Then I wouldn't have to worry about these all these other cards. Brawly's Shadow. Woody. Alan. Oh, Woody. Alan. Andy's favorite. So we've moved from The Lion King to Toy Story. Woody, Andy's favorite. We got the white-red 2/2 toy. Spoiler alert, in the older, I think it was chapter 3, chapter 4, he's not Andy's favorite anymore. But this is probably during the lore when it was. Vigilance. Andy's home. 2. Target artifact creature you control becomes a non-creature artifact until your next turn. 2 mana, target artifact creature you control becomes a non-creature artifact. So it animates the other toys. Interesting. I feel like that is not the lore to this card. I don't feel like he animated anything. If any, Andy animates the toys. And doesn't Woody have... I can't remember. He has like a bunch of sayings when you pull the string. It unanimates them? Hold on. Target artifact creature you control becomes a non-creature. Oh! It unanimates them. Ah, interesting. Okay, cute. Okay, I am reading it wrong. You guys are right. Andy is home. They all play dead. Okay, like it. Okay, so it is very flavorful. Perfect. It's official. Nikachu never watched Toy Story. I have seen Toy Story 1. I have seen Toy Story 2. I've seen Toy Story 4. I missed 3, all right? I didn't see 3. I'll admit that one. He was like he got left at a circus or something. Or it was a carnival. I don't know where he got left. I don't remember the end. What was it? Who left? Who ended? Buzz Lightyear. They separated. Now I don't remember what I saw in Toy Story 4. All right, next up. Let's look at Red Co's Eldritch Nova. Okay, so what's the... Yeah, the circus. That's right. Okay, Eldritch Nova. White, red, 3 generic tribal sorcery. It's an Eldrazi with Radiance. Destroy target non-land permanent and each other non-land permanent that shares a color with it. Interesting. And this card particularly has no color. This seems like an Eldrazi... It feels very much like an Eldrazi card. I don't know why it's... It should be colorless, though, right? But then it would go in any deck. No, you're right. You know what? Like, the Eldrazi, they had colors. Or they were cast for colors, even though they had Devoid. So it's actually quite within the theme of the Eldrazi. Elspeth's detonation of the Silex in the Blind Eternities awakened. Something. Or someone. Okay, I like it. Great card. Bye, Samurott. oh, you're talking about Samurott. Hate being sick. See you another day. See you later, Samurott the raccoon. Get better soon. All right, we can move on to another raccoon aficionado around here. We got Steve Cooper, Rack Lord. Wanted to try to make my own raccoon lord. All raccoons get +1/+1 and boom. The picture is so simple and straightforward. Okay, it's a green, red, black, white, 2/4, raccoon noble. I would figure raccoons are just green or green, white or something. You can make it white for noble. Okay, raccoon noble. Other raccoons get +1/+1. Whenever a raccoon enters the battlefield under your control, you may draw a card. If you do, discard a card. And then tap, create a 1/1 green raccoon creature token. You know what I would have really liked out of this? That it used food tokens somehow. Like you sacrifice a food and like the raccoon does something. Or the raccoon draws a card or turns food into card draw or something like that. Because we all, like, that's the raccoon's thing. They rummage through the garbage and they looking for food. That's what they do. Mask of the Raccoon card next. That's possible. Oh, yeah, we have another raccoon card. Non-canon S... What is this? Okay, non-canon / SC joke card. Yeah, we do find... I can find this. Non-canon. Literally. Azorius, instant. Exile target permanent that is a story spotlight card. It is no longer canon, or has a canon within its art. It is no longer canon. Counter target spell that is a story spotlight card. It is no longer canon, or has a canon within its art. It is no longer canon. This sounds very unset-like. So I'm going to give you a plus on the unset card. Otherwise, it don't make no sense. Okay, Spelly Squid. What do you got for a Spelly Squid? 704.1, sorry, 0.5Q has got to be kitten me. Literally kitten. 704.5Q has got to be kitten me. It's got a cat. We got 2 mice equal 2. Cat plus mouse equal 1. So big dog and cat equals what? So another Azorius, 2/2 cat advisor. Whenever a permanent has both a counter and its additive inverse, its controller removes n of both types of counter from that permanent, where n is the smaller of the 2 quantities of counters. Algebra is the metaphysics of arithmetic. John Ray. I'm going to assume this card is legal. Otherwise, I don't like it. It makes my brain hurt. I'm just reading this thing. How do I interpret all my cards now? I don't look at them the same way as I used to. Yeah, chaos ensues. Everyone's head hurts. So it just... Brawly Shadow is like, this card is simple. It just removes the -1/-1 counter if you get +1/+1 counters. Oh god, making me do even more math? It's funny how much math there is in this game. This game is just a lot of basic arithmetic and then tons of memorization. It's amazing how we know all the cards that we actually know. Right? Crimson Wolf. Boop. The back rooms, 1, 2, 3. Sounds like I don't want to be in those back rooms. Creepy. All right, for Wooburg, We've got a wall. It's a legendary wall. Defender Shroud Reach. The back room's toughness is equal to all permanents in play times 2. This is just like silly. Each creature you control with Defender assigns combat damage equal to its toughness rather than its power and can attack as though it didn't have Defender. That's the same thing as that sake, so it's going to attack for 1 billion. At the beginning of your upkeep, draw a card for each player in the game. Okay. No! Absolutely not. Majra. What do you got for us? Marco. Champion of the Moss Bay. We got for Teamer 3 generic, a card with 1 million. What is this? Okay, we got a card with a lot of text on it. When Marco Champion of Moss Bay is cast, by its miracle cost, it gains haste. Where the hell is the miracle cost? Oh, the miracle's at the bottom for 4 mana. Okay, that's sort of fine. Also defeats the purpose of this being a commander. Okay, it's got double strike, which is fair. It's only a 3/1 creature. If Marco Champion of Moss Bay deals combat damage to a player, you may destroy target artifact, enchantment, or tapped creature, and Marco Champion of Moss Bay deals as much damage to its controller than its mana value? What the hell does that mean? If you do, shuffle Marco Champion of Moss Bay back into your library at the beginning of your next end step. When it deals combat damage to a player, I can destroy target artifact, enchantment, or tap creature. And Marco Champion of Moss Bay deal as much damage to its controller than its mana. That whole part at the end doesn't make any sense. Then its mana value. I also don't know even why you want it to do that. I think it's fine. It just sits on the battlefield and you can destroy stuff when you deal damage, double strike damage. Missed an opportunity to use the miracle frame. That's right. No miracle frame here. A very common fun fact. The idea of a mana curve was discovered while daydreaming in a calculus class. Interesting. Yeah, super grammar mess. Also not necessary. I don't think it's necessary to put this back into the deck. I mean, you can have it like double strike and blow people's stuff up. I think that was great. Double strike will never not be OP. Whatever. In a game of Commander, I think it's going to be fine. Okay, fix that and it will be fine. Otherwise, deal as much damage to its controller than its mana value. That makes no sense. None whatsoever. Majra. Oh, we did this one. Okay, Redco. Redco's back. Leave no witness. This is it. Okay, for Esper, instant, destroy target creature. The next time a creature enters the battlefield this turn, destroy that creature. Oh, that's interesting. Hold on, wait a minute. That's a massive 2-for-1. Oh, I like it. There's a big blow. But you know what? It's 3 mana. It's Esper colors. So basically, someone's casting a creature on the stack. I then blow up 1 creature in play, and then the creature that resolves is also going to get destroyed. The next time a creature would enter the battlefield, destroy that creature. Oh dear, you've caught me in the act. Please don't take this personally. It's like when someone caught you killing someone in Among Us. You're going to go kill them next. I've been playing a lot of Among Us lately. I got sick recently, and I started playing Among Us as my, like, game to cope with the sickness. English, not my first language. Be patient. We are patient. We get what you're trying to do. We understand. I like this card a lot. This could be a real card. Good flavor text, too. Okay, Crimson Wolf. Now what do you got for us? Monolith of the Old Ones. Another land. Okay. Add blue or black, but you can't fetch it out, so I don't know, maybe that's going to be fair. And then we look at the top card of our of each player's library, so tap and get that effect. That's interesting. And then tap, sack a creature, gain control of target creature. What? An opponent controls. Exile this land at the beginning of your next death step. Oh. No. This is just too much. This is too much to be put on a Dimir land. Even if this is legendary, the card is just way too damn strong. Like, you're trying to put full text of cards on a land is what you're trying to do. Oh, it is a swamp. I forgot. I didn't see at the bottom. It is fetchable. It's an island swamp. Well, this is just beyond insane. Crimson Wolf never worked for Wizards of the Coast. We're gonna... Yeah, your chances of working at Wizards, they're going down as they keep watching these shows. All right, Smelly Squid. Not all of us can achieve greatness. But some of us can. Okay, red 2 generic instant. Any target that isn't a legendary permanent does 3 damage to itself. Any target that isn't a legendary permanent. I don't understand what this means. And this spell costs 2 less to cast if you control a planeswalker. Okay, that I understand. Any target that isn't a legendary permanent does 3 damage to itself. Okay, this card just doesn't make any sense. Sorry about that. Majra, you gotta get these, like, proofread by someone that speaks English. What are the comments like for this? It's like funny that it can target vehicles for some reason. Oh, this is not Majra, this is Smelly Squid. Smelly Squid, what does this mean? I blame this on Majra for no reason. It's not me this time. Yeah, sorry, Majra. You're our resident English person. Okay, so any target. What does this mean? Target non-legendary creature does 3 damage to itself. Is that what it's supposed to mean? Target any target. So like any creature, was it all creatures just deal like every non-legendary creature deals 3 damage to itself? I guess that's what it's supposed to be. That's fine. Yeah, wording is terrible. Absolute trash. Gotta clean it up. But yeah, the card's fine. I think it's okay. There's a lot of creatures that won't die to this card. Okay. Next one is from Majra though. Legendaries I made a long time ago. Made long ago. Just look at Leonora. Okay, we're gonna look at oh, you want the other one. The Heiress of the Sun City. Alright, what do we got here? We've got for Bant Colors a 3/3 creature. Other humans control have Exalted. Oh, neat. Okay. So everyone has Exalted, so one creature attacking is going to attack for massive amounts of damage. What is with the flavor text? We have a novel here. Let's be clear, Father. And with him, his army died of his sexism. Refusing to listen to Mother was his undoing. Please take care of her while I'm gone. I will find a way to bring peace to the 5 kingdoms no matter what. Excerpt from Leonora's missives to her brother, or maybe messages, to her brother and his husband, Cisco and Leandro. Let's be clear, Father! Let's be clear. And then give everything Exalted for some reason. Okay, what do we have here? Snow Flurry! Multi-wall collection of defendable cards. Okay, multi-wall collection of defendable cards. It's my series of dual color walls. I may need to tweak some of them since they may be a bit strong. Okay, we have, I'll look at 2 of them. Actually, I don't know what the value of 10 New Zealand dollars are, but it sounds like it's worth more than Canadian or American dollars. Oh, missive is an old word for message? Oh, interesting. The old words. Okay, Haunting Mists. Black, blue, 2 generic for a 0/6 wall with Defender. Whenever an illusion dies, all creatures opponents control that share its name gain 2 -1/-1 counters. What? Whenever an illusion dies, all creatures opponents control that share its name. So if I have an illusion and it dies, and you have the same illusion, I put -1/-1 counters on your creature. Whenever Haunting Mist blocks, create a creature token that's a copy of the creature it blocked. This token becomes an illusion in addition to its other type. Replace all of its abilities with, when this creature becomes the target of a spell or ability, sacrifice it. Oh, I get it. Okay, so everyone starts getting copies of people's cards, and then when it dies, when an illusion dies, all creatures opponent control, anything with the same name gets smaller. It's anti-token. Is this what it's supposed to be? When an illusion dies, all creatures opponents control that share its name. No, it can't be anti. It's anti, like, token that it generated itself. I don't know what this means. I don't like it. Okay, let's look at another one. Like, what is this card trying to do, really, is what I'm trying... I don't even know. I understand the Defender illusion wall part of this. Yeah, there's a lot of illusions, and suddenly there are no illusions. Bloodstained Brambles. Okay, so Gogari 2 generic for a 0, another wall with Defender and Reach. Whenever this creature takes damage, add a -0, -1 counter to it. So if, like, any damage, and it just gets 1 counter, and deal X plus 1 damage to all attacking creatures, where X is the number of thorn counters on this card. So I'm assuming it puts the you didn't even mention that it puts a thorn counter on it. It should just be like minus. I think you should also lower the toughness on this thing, or I don't know. It's possible no one's going to attack into this creature. Maybe it's fine. Then you pay a green, remove a -0, -1 counter, and add. Oh, you add the thorn later. That is weird. So exchange the minus for the thorn. Whatever. Okay, well, I'll give a pass to that. Yeah, such counters can exist. I can't. What is it? Wall of Roots has that sort of thing. Whenever it adds mana, you put a -0, -1 card on, -1 counter on it. All right, let's move on. Gotta move on around here. I'm not missing any super chats, right? Good. Robert, what do you got first, Robert? Happy Humble Burger Farm. The magic card. Is this a reference to something that some weird thing on the internet that I don't know about? This is very creepy art for a Happy's Humble Burger Farm. Okay, we got Mardu 2 generic for a star Boar Bird Ox Horror. Happy's Humble Burger Farm's base power and toughness are each equal to the number of treasures you control. Thank God, this is templating I understand. Whenever Happy's Humble Burger Farm enters the battlefield or attacks, each player creates 2 treasure tokens. Oh, very interesting. Here, everyone, have all the treasure. But they could just sack them, right? But then they get nothing, I guess. Whenever an opponent sacks a treasure, that player loses 1 life, and you create 2. And you create 2 treasures. This is so interesting. I like it. I think it's very cool. Token doublers go wild. This is really cool. So you give people treasure, but if they want to get rid of the treasure to make this guy smaller, then they still take damage. And then they lose the ability. I think it would make actually a little bit interesting if they sack the treasure, they don't lose the life. Or maybe you need that necessary so that if they have a bunch, it's like anti-treasure. It's like an anti-treasure card. Actually, I like it. You know, just keep it as it is. Great card. Very Zyber. It's probably the best design card we've seen all day. Oh, well, look what we have here. We got Crimson Wolf with the Hunter's Nightmare. How busted is this card gonna be? You're gonna gain a reputation, Crimson Wolf, for having just absolutely broken cards. Okay, we have a Dimir Saga. Okay. How could a saga be broken, right? Okay, chapter 1. This is 1 mana. Okay, this is 1 mana. Chapter 1. Discard your hand, put a Vigilance, Lifelink, First Strike, and Death Touch counter on each creature you control. You skip your attack step. Okay, that seems fine. Chapter 2. Draw 7 cards. You can't cast spells until your next upkeep. So this is 1 mana, draw 7, effectively. So this is the last card you play. So basically you have to take 2 turns off, but not really. You just take your next turn off. No, you take... Yeah, this comes out chapter 1. You discard your hand. So next turn you don't... This is actually busted. Yeah, you can't... Well, where's my booing? Yeah, exactly. You cast it post-combat on chapter 1, and then next turn you don't. You draw 7 cards. You just can't cast anything. But if you have flash, oh no, until your next upkeep. Okay, so flash doesn't count. You at least got that part. And then Chapter 3, you get an emblem with whenever you cast a spell, you lose 4 life, and each opponent creates 2 5/5 black horror tokens with fear. You know what you could do to actually make this a bit fair? Swap these around. Put the emblem on Chapter 2, and then this thing can be just draw 7, but like, what are you going to do with the cards? You lose tons of life, and you get a bunch of 5/5, or your opponents get 5/5 black horror tokens with fear. I think that would make this card fair and interesting. So, I guess it's effectively the same thing, because you draw the 7 in this, but actually you can play all your spells at your upkeep, right? Because this chapter 3 doesn't trigger until after you draw. So you actually have a small window to combo off in some sort of storm deck. Swap these around, and actually it would weirdly be fair. In a weird world. The Hunter's Nightmare. Okay, Redco. What do you got for us? Havoc. Havoc in the East Sea. Oh, I'm gonna have to zoom out for this one. Havoc in the East Sea. We've got it's a saga with Flash, which is very unique. Okay, Chapter 1, Note a color. Other non-land permanents of the noted color phase out until the beginning of the next end step. Okay, Chapter 2, return all other non-land permanents not of the noted color to their owner's hands. That could be very, very strong. Then Chapter 3, exile it, put it back onto the battlefield transformed, and it is a flying indestructible when Neza, third Lotus Prince. Whenever Neza, the third Lotus Prince, attacks, choose one. Exile another target artifact or enchantment. You can scry 3, draw a card, and reveal it and you gain life equal to its mana value, and then target non-land permanent phases out. One of those 3. What do you guys think? Busted or fine? Majra likes the card. Return all other non-land permanents not of the noted color to their owner's hand. That sounds strong. Let's just bounce everything for 5 mana and it's a wink. You know what? I think this is just broken. I think it's broken because the bounce effect is outrageously powerful. It's Flash, right? So you just end of turn play this, and then immediately you get to Chapter 2 on your next turn, and you bounce everything back to their hand. Return all other. It's all other, so it can't even count itself. Seems fair. What are you people nuts? Do you see? This is a flying indestructible 4/4 that exit like next turn. I don't know. I think it's broken. If you guys think that the Havoc in the East Sea is totally fair, you want it to be a card, okay, go for it. You go play this card. Where do they phase out until end of turn? I don't know. I don't know the lore around here. All right, Pyrobob. What do you got for us? Nikachu, sorry. I know you have a million super chats, but you could look at semantic studies. I look at all the super chats. In fact, we are already over time, but you guys hold me captive with the super chats. All right, Pyrobob. We got a blue enchantment. I like this. There's not a lot of enchantments for a single blue in this game. Whenever Semantic Studies enters the battlefield, put the top card of your library into your hand. Okay, so it's basically draw a card. I don't know why it so specifically needs to be the top card of your library. I'm never drawing from the bottom of my library. Whenever a player would draw one or more cards, instead they put that many cards from the top of their library into their hand. I don't get it. Oh, it's semantic studies? Is this like a gag on, you know, semantics? Hold on, where? Yeah, because it's the same thing. It's literally the same thing. I don't know, Shelly. They look like they mean the same thing to me. Yeah, that's where you draw. It's exactly where you draw from. I wouldn't draw from anywhere else. Players can't deck out by drawing from an empty library. Would that be the case? Whenever a player would draw one or more cards, instead they put that many cards from the top of the library. Oh, you're right. They don't draw their cards, so they can't deck themselves. Interesting. So it looks the same. There's a little slight nuance differences. Little new. Yeah, protection from drawing from an empty deck. Oh, is it an anti-shield red card? So you don't technically draw cards anymore. Oh, the card actually has utility. We're finding out that this card's actually good. For 1 blue, we undermine Shieldred. We get around with Bowmasters. Okay, we get around Bowmasters. What's it called? Hole Breacher, Fairy Mastermind. All those cards that pay attention at whenever we're drawing cards. All right, cool card. The card Zybers. Looks like it does nothing. It actually does everything. All right, Brawly's Shadow. Boop. Mr. Potato Head. Mr. Potato Head to you. All right. I felt like this card should have been assembled somehow through different separate cards, like Mr. Potato Head's cap, Mr. Potato Head's body. All right, we have a white, green, 3 generic, 2/2 toy. When Mr. Potato Head enters the battlefield, is it really legendary, by the way? Just like how, like, there's a legendary Buzz Lightyear. Like, he's not legend. There's like a million Buzz Lightyears out there. This isn't the one-of-a-kind Mr. Potato Head. Okay, anyway, when Mr. Potato Head enters the battlefield, you may move any number of counters from creatures you control onto it. And it's got modular too. This enters the battlefield with 2 +1/+1 counters on it. When it dies, you may put its +1/+1 counters on target artifact creature. Interesting way of looking at it. I like that. Cool mechanic. Or the meld mechanic. Oh yeah, that's possible. That's possible. Fisher, well, yes, but I can... Oh, I thought you were talking about Fisher Price. Fisher Price, who makes these damn things. Mr. Potato Head assembles like Cauldron Complete. Exactly. Exactly. Well, the assembling shouldn't be that difficult. All right, Almond. What do you got? A glass of tap water. For the record, I drink a lot from the tap. Tap water around here is great. Whoops. I budgeted an extra song and everything. Oh, we're not done. There we go. Glass of tap. It's an artifact. Figure it'd be some sort of food. Okay, white 1 generic artifact. Tap, gain 2 life. If it gets hot, just stay hydrated. It should also, do you know what it should also do? It should destroy target red elemental. Think about it. You could tap, gain 2 life, or tap, sacrifice it, destroy target red elemental. Am I right, fellas? Wouldn't that be flavorful? You're pouring water on fire, damn it. In my opinion. Who doesn't want to be hydrated? All right, Smelly Squid. You're going to end the show on bone marrow. That sounds disgusting. I like the picture, though. All right, we got a blue 1 generic. Skeleton Merfolk. It's a 2/1. Could be like a zombie Merfolk. All right, black. Tap another Merfolk you control. Regenerate bone marrow. Jace, that tissue for producing blood? Chandra, no. That's bone marrow. It's a very, very, very strange card. All right, I'll allow it. Does not seem broken. Dogs love you. Dogs are going to eat the bone marrow. The poor bony guy. Yeah, in some cases, like, they should let old dogs get errated to, like, they have protection from skeletons in this game. Because I think skeleton is a creature type, as weird as that sounds. Welcome, Wes. I got some bad news for you, Wes. It's the end of the show. But I tell you what, Wes, I tell you what. If you want to be part of this show, you know when you have to be here? I'll tell you. Got to be here Monday to Friday, 11 o'clock a.m. Central Standard Time. That's when we start this show. Got to thank all the supporters who are here every day. Also, everyone who supports the channel on Patreon, a member on YouTube, and the people who donate to the show. Get their super chats in so that they're part of it. And we also got to thank everyone who shows up here in the morning for the show. Like Mr. Deadhead and apparently Snowcades. Unfortunately, Wes showed here up at the end of the show. We also gotta thank Lee Fisher, Majra, Toads, Dina Soul Steeper, Emerald, Toilet Duck, Steve Cooper, Brawly Shadow, Brett Chu, because as usual, this show is nothing without all you guys. So as usual, my coffee crew, keep brewing up them coffees, and we will keep brewing up the magic. Take care of yourselves, and I will see you at the next cup.